5. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. Hazelton City Council held its first meeting of the new year. WYLN's Mackenzie Auker has the details on what's in store for the start of 2022.
Hazelton City Council met last night for the first time this year. Items that were discussed during the meeting were a community development block grant, appointing 3 new members, and snowban parking.
Yeah, it was a very short meeting. We did a community development block grant change, which was pretty simple. We actually gained some $85,000 to use on our streets. We appointed 3 people to the Planning Commission, which was very well needed. And that basically was what we did tonight. We had some discussion on some other issues like snowban parking, which was not on the agenda. We just discussed that. So those are some concerns that people had. So we want to make sure that they understand where to park. That was a big thing, and how many tickets we gave out. And I think we discussed using perhaps a speed sign, purchasing speed signs for various areas like 15th Street. So all these things are good progress for the city, but it was a very light agenda for today.
Their next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January 25th at 6 p.m. Reporting in Hazelton for WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Auker.
A New York man was arrested during a traffic stop in Hazelton. Officers pulled over a black Nissan Sentra for a traffic violation near 15th and North Church Streets around 2 Tuesday morning. A search of the vehicle's tag showed that it had been reported stolen out of New York State. The driver, 19-year-old Marquise Flo, told police that he didn't have a driver's license or ID on him, and an unidentified passenger was also found not to have ID. When both were taken into custody, it was discovered that Flo had an active warrant out of Columbia County. Flo was charged with receiving stolen property and providing false identification to a law enforcement officer. Drug charges were also added after police found burnt marijuana cigarettes inside the vehicle. Flo was taken to prison for lack of $5,000 bail. The House Judiciary Committee's subcommittee on courts decided to conduct an investigation into allegations against a Schuylkill County commissioner. The subcommittee voted unanimously on Tuesday to move forward with the probe into allegations made against George Halkovich Jr. by 4 female county employees. Halkovich is accused of sexual harassment and assault. The women say the incidents began when Halkovich took office back in 2012 and continued over the years. The subcommittee has the power to subpoena witnesses and hear testimony during the investigation, which is expected to take several months. Once completed, the subcommittee will make a recommendation to the House Judiciary Committee regarding whether to start impeachment proceedings for Halkovich. The victim of a fatal crash this past weekend in Luzerne County has been identified. The accident happened around 3 Sunday afternoon along State Route 437 in Fairview Township. Authorities say that Lucy Gonzalez died in the crash, while 2 others, including her granddaughter, were taken to the hospital. All 3 were on their way to see Disney on Ice when the car lost control because of slick weather conditions. A GoFundMe account has been set up to help pay for Gonzalez's funeral expenses and her granddaughter's medical bills. A former Drums resident was sentenced to prison for drug trafficking. 29-year-old Edgar Mendoza pleaded guilty back in July to conspiring with several other individuals to distribute meth in the Hazelton area between October of 2019 and February 2020. Mendoza was involved in retrieving packages of meth mailed from Arizona to Luzerne County. The case was investigated by Homeland Security, the Postal Inspection Service, and the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office. Mendoza was sentenced this week to serve 108 months in prison. Police in Butler Township are asking for the public's help in an auto parts theft. Police have released a photo of a black Buick Regal that they believe belonged to the suspect or suspects who stole catalytic converters from several vehicles parked at Hunter Highway Self-Storage on Maces Road on January 10th. Anyone with information is asked to contact Butler Township Police at 570-788-4111. 4 people, including a 2-month-old baby, survived a medical helicopter crash yesterday in suburban Philadelphia. The copter crashed around 1 near a church in Upper Darby's Drexel Hill neighborhood. Witnesses said the aircraft avoided power lines, hit the pavement, and slid into shrubbery outside a church. Emergency responders rescued 2 crew members, the pilot and an infant, from the wreck. Miraculously, no one was seriously hurt. Officials with Pima said the helicopter had taken off from out of state and may have encountered mechanical problems. The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are currently investigating that crash. Stimulus checks are on the way for eligible households in the Wilkes-Barre area. The Wilkes-Barre stimulus program is helping residents who've been negatively impacted by the pandemic. Mayor George Brown said a one-time payment of $300 has been issued for tax filing income-eligible households. Eligibility was based on 2020 taxes with gross income at or below 80% of last year's AMI. Households who qualified also had to have maintained residency in the city of Wilkes-Barre since March 13th of 2020. As temperatures drop and heating bills and electric bills rise, the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission wants consumers to conserve energy and save in 2022. To manage energy usage, you're advised to pay attention to your thermostat and consider a programmable one to automatically lower temperatures at night or while you're away from home. Also, remember, keep furnaces and ducts clean. Winterize your home, check your hot water heater, and run full loads in your washers and dishwashers. The PUC also continues to encourage struggling consumers and businesses to discuss utility assistance programs with their utilities. That includes comparing prices for electric generation, evaluating competitive supplier offers, and looking at competitive market options, such as time of use and renewable energy products. PUC's electric shopping website, papowerswitch.com, also has interactive sections with more easy tips to save some energy. Despite the Pennsylvania Farm Show making a comeback this year, COVID-19 is still affecting vendors. The Farm Show has seen an average of 500,000 visitors during the 8-day event over the years. Since the show is still taking place, organizers don't have an estimate of how many visitors have attended so far, but it's below last year's average. Many factors have contributed to low attendance, such as the recent surge of the Omicron variant, winter weather, and vendors backing out due to COVID-19 outbreaks running through their staffs. However, attendance is expected to pick up over the weekend. Coming up on Wyln News, Yingling has summer on its mind and a festival to enjoy. Plus, it's game day. But first, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Bonomo. I'm 12 years old, and tomorrow's Wyln forecast is partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, Go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. WYLN, first in live local sports. The winter sports season is here. Catch these games live on WYLN this week.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton, your ER partner.
Yingling announced the return of its free summer festival in Pottsville. The annual day-long celebration highlights the Brewers' Stars and Stripes program that honors our nation's heroes and military veterans while bringing loyal fans together for an amazing day of beer, food, fun, and a free live concert performance. American country music star and songwriter Lee Brice will headline the 2022 Summer Celebration concert on July 9th. 2019's debut festival drew over 9,000 people from the surrounding areas and more than 25 states to Pottsville. Since 2020 and 2021 were postponed due to COVID, Yingling said 2022 will be bigger with more local bands, events, and fan experiences. Fans can follow the Yingling Stars and Stripes celebration event on their Facebook page for all the details. If you're looking for something to satisfy your sweet tooth, then the Girl Scouts have just the treats for you. The 2022 Girl Scout cookie season is officially underway. The Scouts have been selling their world-famous cookies since 1917 to help support programs within the organization. Those popular flavors include the classic Thin Mints, shortbread, peanut butter, and Caramel Delights Samoas. The lineup this year features a new cookie called Adventurefuls. That is a brownie-inspired cookie topped with caramel flavor cream and just a hint of sea salt. To order cookies, you can contact a Girl Scout or order online from a local Girl Scout troop. To find out more, visit girlscouts.org. Our WYLN sports crew is already down in Berwick gearing up for its next 2022 high school basketball game. We kick off with some live Bulldog Comets action tonight when the ball is in Berwick's court for the girls' matchup against Crestwood. Get your favorite fill of Marty Burns, Joe DeMelfi, and our WYLN sports crew bringing you the event, not just the highlights. No plans tonight? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for the 7:30 tip-off and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. Coming up on Berwick's News Choice, we talk snow and ice fall prevention on this Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. Stay with us.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazelton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget,
Everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazelton.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
at 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
Penn State Hazelton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
welcome to another edition of Wellness Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. Today we are on location at the Hazelton Health and Wellness Center with Shay Post, who is within the physical therapy department. First of all, how are you doing again, Shay?
Good, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. So today Shay is going to be talking with us about snow and ice fall prevention, since, we're talking physical therapy here. Now, Shay, what are the risks? I know we're in that cold weather season. Ice comes as it pleases, snow comes as it pleases. What are some of the risks of falling in either of the two?
So it's that time of year again. Luckily, we've been not having too bad of a season so far, but it's bound to come sooner or later. So we there are some things that we can do to prevent falls. So we spend over $50 billion every year on falls, and we don't really have to fall. So there are things we can do to prevent those. Some of the risks of falling would be, we're in a hurry, we're trying to get out, get our milk and our bread before it's time to, before that snow comes. And so being in a hurry could put us at risk for falls, whether we're in our 20s or in our 80s. So it's not only seniors that fall, it's younger people as well. Some things that you could use to help prevent falls, you have to watch your shoes. Some shoes have flat bottoms. Flat bottom shoes and high heels are not a good choice for bad weather. So something with more traction, like more wedges on the bottom. They sell traction covers that you could buy online, or I think even go over to the mall or Boscov's and pull over your shoes. That will give you a little extra traction. Some other reasons that people fall, we've been in the pandemic for quite a while now, and a lot of us have been not as active as we are used to. So keeping our strength, keeping, in shape, making sure that we're, having visual screenings and going to all those, important medical appointments to make sure that we're strong enough so that we can balance, if we would need to, and catch ourselves. So those are some of the few things that we can do to help keep ourselves healthy and avoid those falls.
And like you said, falling isn't just an age thing. I mean, there's the elderly, of course, their falls may be a little more severe, but I myself, I've taken a few spills here and there, and sometimes people might not realize how severe that spill may be. So if someone were to fall in the snow or the ice, when is that point where they should say, I might need to see somebody about this?
So if you're having, if you fall and you're having pain, and then you should, call your doctor or go to the ER. We have patients that, can have concussions or hip fractures or fractures of the upper extremity. So don't wait, contact the doctor, get yourself to the emergency room, and get those taken care of right away. I do have a few other recommendations as far as trying to reduce, some things to avoid falls. And those are to plan ahead. So when you know that, look at the weather for the week. If a storm is coming, try to do your errands ahead of time. Maybe keep the shovel and a bag of salt within reach of your doorway, and that way you won't have to go out on the ice. And planning ahead so that you're looking at the sidewalks that you'll be walking on to where your destination is. Pick a path that maybe the sun was shining on, and, so it's not so icy in those areas. And one of the popular suggestions that you see sometimes is walking like a penguin. So when you do that, you don't want to take, normally I teach my patients to walk heel to toe, but you don't want to do that in the ice. You want to kind of walk side to side like a penguin with flat feet and take short shuffling steps. And when you're getting out of the car, you don't want to get out just with one leg. You want to turn your body and plant both feet on the ground so that you're putting weight down through your legs and not pushing out so that you can slide. So those are a few things that you can do to help keep you safe, so that you won't end up seeing me in physical therapy. So, okay.
And along those lines, too, we talked about traction with the shoes and the feet. What about what we can wear on the rest of our bodies? Would that help at all?
Wearing gloves is important because we don't want you walking with your hands in your pockets. If you have your hands out, then you could, balance with your hands. So those are just some of the few things. And you want, good fitting clothes, so clothes that are not, too long and that fit appropriately. Plan ahead. Have like winter weather awareness. Look around you. See what the safest, pathway is to where you're going. Don't be in a hurry. And, if you don't have to go out and it's snowing and icy, then don't go out. Grab a neighbor, ask them to help you shovel or, run an errand if you need to. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shay, for squeezing us in today.
Sure. My pleasure.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, follow these tips and tricks to avoid falling in the snow and the ice, and you could avoid having to see Shay over in physical therapy with a serious injury. So that's it for this Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
And it's time to go behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. Mayor George Brown leading the way in Part 3.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Wilkes-Barre Mayor George Brown. So for those who may not understand what the role of a mayor is, I know it kind of sounds silly to ask, but I think there's a lot of things that come with the job that people might not know about. So if you could tell us just a little bit about, maybe best explanation, a day-to-day in the life of Mayor Brown.
Sure. Well, we have a strong mayor form of government in Wilkes-Barre City, which means that I'm the mayor. I was elected, but I was elected separately from City Council, who was elected, along with Controller was elected by the people. So I do not oversee City Council nor the Controller, but every other department in the city is oversaw by the Mayor of Wilkes-Barre. What we do is every day I have a senior staff meeting, and this started last year during the pandemic when we had, it was just a terrible year last year, but we decided to have a senior staff meeting. And this is what I used to do in business, is get all my senior leadership together. We talk about what happened the day before. What are we going to do that day and the next day? And how do we deal with issues that come up? And together, collectively, we work on them. So we do a senior staff meeting, but also there's always other meetings that we have to go to. My job as mayor is to try to promote the city, make sure people want to come back and move back into the city, make sure businesses want to invest in the city. My goal is to make Wilkes-Barre the entrepreneur capital of Pennsylvania. And we're doing that. We're working with investors from New York, New Jersey, but also local investors saying, you want to invest in the city. You want to bring your jobs here. You want to buy buildings. You want to build new buildings. I have empty lots for sale. I have buildings for sale. And it's working. And people are doing that. So my goal right now is to get people to come back, invest in the city. But other things that we're working on is the safety of the residents. You know, every single city has crime, just like every city has potholes. I don't care where you're at. We're working on those. We're working on the infrastructure, meaning the roads. There's 18 parks in the city of Wilkes-Barre. We're updating the parks in the city. So also the main thing is I want to bring back the neighborhoods so people can raise their children and their grandchildren in clean, safe neighborhoods. It's an ongoing situation that we're dealing with, but we're going to do it. It's going to happen. And I'm bringing Wilkes-Barre back to what I call the new beginning, and where people are going to say, you live in Wilkes-Barre? Yes, I do. Wow. Any houses for sale in Wilkes-Barre? So we're bringing it back. And the team that I put together, we all work together as a team. They're all team players, and we all have the same goal. Make Wilkes-Barre safe, make it clean, and bring it back to where it used to be years ago. We're going to get there. Yeah. We really are.
All right. I can't wait to see. All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Mayor George Brown continues leading the way into Part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Get all the latest news on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Have a good night.